What's up, everybody? Josh here, Jim's Hobbies. I'm finally getting to drive the Hobbywing Elite 2300. It's on 3S with a 8.4 volt 729 Power Hobby servo. I've driven this same truck on the Hobbywing 2300 2-in-1 on 3S. I ran direct power servo on it because it didn't have the BEC like that, but this isn't, I guess it's kind of a comparison, but I won't have them side by side because that motor is now in my RC Speedy moon buggy. So I'm just out here trying it out, and I'll let you know my opinion. Low speed control is very nice on it. This truck's just the stock VRD straight axle builder's kit. It does have some Geolander tires on it. Not my favorite, they're a good tire, but I prefer the Tusks or Bossmans. I'm really liking the Bossmans right now. And it's got some lightweight 3D printed inserts. It's got a tiny bit of cog in that super low speed. If you can see the way it's moving. Now it's still very controllable, it's not unpredictable. But at the super low speed, it has the tiniest bit of cog. You see it right there, how the tires. But that is super good control. I mean, just barely on the throttle. But it's not jerky, it's just a tiny bit of cog. And so much better than the other. Now I have the punch turned up to like 7. But as far as like the instant response, it's much better than the Pros. The regular Pro, not the Elite. Servo has super, that 8.4 really puts it where it likes to be at. This only has the 6% overdrive in it, so it's not any overdrive cog or anything like that. But that's really nice control to be able to let it just slow down and walk down like that. I can really just slow it down and let it move easy. This is real time, as you can tell, with my voice not sped up or slowed down, and this isn't a voiceover. Moose is out inspecting. Come on, stay up there. Don't unload. The back tire is going to walk off, that's fine. I'd rather not go down in that groove, but it should push out. The Geolanders don't have the bite of the... Oh, a little too much. I'm not used to that. And it's not like the crazy instant reverse like that you get with the Pros. And the reverse is at 100%. I think they did a little tweaking. I hope they did a little tweaking. The reverse. I haven't driven this truck in a while because it has had a motor in it. I stole it. So for anything the tires don't grab, that's not on the motor. I really like these tires as a trail tire on the Optic and stuff, but actually my Optic I have the VXD2s, but it's not a bad tire. It's just not a Bossman or a Tusk. Because I feel with a Bossman or a Tusk, this truck would just climb right up that, like that. Would have done it the other 2 times. But having that more power in the BEC is very nice for the servo. Lets it do things like that, push the truck around. And the drag brake's not all the way up, but that hold is really nice. I didn't scale this truck recently, so I can't tell you what the percentages are. I didn't figure it would pull that line with these tires. See if it pulls the crack. How much control that motor gives us going up this wall. Foams are a little soft, you can see them balling up. But that control of the starter is just very nice. Because that truck just went right up that. Super smooth. Very impressed with this motor. It is probably going to be, where it fits, one of my new go-to motors. Like, now, I really like the Holmes 2-in-1 as well, but this being able to have the BEC built in, to me that's a bonus. Dollar for dollar, being able to run a 8.4 bolt like Reef Servo, or this Power Hobby 729, or the 760s, not having to add any extra external BECs like a Castle or something, is a big plus to me. And the can is a little bit smaller than the Holmes. They're pretty close, but I think it's just a little bit smaller. Now, it is heavy. I was surprised. I didn't weigh it, but it is definitely got some weight to that little motor. But that control, that motor is barely turning. Just look at that. Would you look at it? But that's super nice. I have the Holmes motor in my mullet, which I'm not going to change. I like my mullet the way it is. But man, that's smooth. I guess I should put some tusks on here. I have some in the house, even on red rims, and bring out the mullet in this and do a little comparison and the smoothness of the motor. The gearing is going to be different for the mullet, obviously. It's the same pinion and stuff, but with the portal axles on the rear, it's going to change your overall ratio a little bit. And the overdrive in the transmission from the mullet, where this is the factory centering gears in the VFD. I was going to take this truck apart and put it into a buggy, but now I don't know. It's doing really well out here for what it is. It should just drive out of there. There's a good shot of the motor for you. I'm not going to try and make this a super long video because I just put out some really long videos the other day of me doing trail stuff at Beat the Creek with Joe and Misty and Jericho and Justin and Anna. See right there the mullet? The mullet handled that like a beast. Not that wasn't bad, but the mullet was able to go to the inside of that. Of course, I do have a little more weight on the front of the mullet. Oh, turtle. It's got that punch when you need it. Not the Holmes doesn't. This is kind of just a run and review of this motor, and so it's pretty awesome. Get that front end up out of that hole. Should be able to hopefully get the front bumper up over this block without the back end sucking down. Oh, washed out. I want this tire to hold there. I think I'm asking too much of these cheap foams. Well, that reverse got me where I wanted to be. Sit down. Right up there. So this one's always tricky, trying to get down without kicking the back end over too far. Like that. But still able to walk up out of it. Let's give her the beans. Nice. It's got power. It's got power for days. And again, this is on the 3S 1500. Sorry, had to check on the moose. He's over sniffing. Very impressed with this motor and how it's working. Super controlled. I'm working on a new chassis with a different transmission. With that different transmission setup, I might be able to put this motor in it in the front depending on how it clears links. Updates on that later. But that would be really nice. To be able to run a 2-in-1 setup for people that like that. which I like it too. Just I haven't had any issues with running an outrunner set up in my compact trucks. But man, this is nice. It bounced right across. It's definitely got some juice to it. All right, we'll end it there. Just under 15 minutes. Really impressed with the motor. I don't know what the price is going to be after this pre-order sale, but even if it's 150, 160, I think it's still going to be well worth it. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell.